Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about a truth many women face, but few openly discuss: being a woman with no friends. That feeling of loneliness, of standing alone in a crowded room, of questioning whether you're enough simply because you walk this path solo. But here's the truth: being alone doesn't mean you are weak. It means you are powerful enough to stand on your own. Sometimes, life hits us in ways that make us question everything we thought we knew about ourselves. We find ourselves standing in the midst of loneliness, feeling like we've been set apart, not by choice, but by circumstance. It's easy to think that solitude is a sign of failure, that somehow we've fallen short because our circle has shrunk, or because we're walking this journey without the company of others. But let me tell you something that might surprise you. Being alone is not the absence of strength. It is, in fact, a reflection of your inner resilience, your ability to stand tall even when no one else is holding you up. You see, there's a profound power in embracing solitude. It's not about wallowing in loneliness or feeling sorry for yourself. It's about recognizing that this moment, this season, is an opportunity for you to reconnect with who you truly are. When the world is quiet and the noise of other people's opinions fades away, what is left is your authentic voice. It's the voice that has been whispering to you all along, reminding you of your worth, your potential, and your divine purpose. But often we drown out that voice with the noise of external validation, seeking approval from friends, family, or society, instead of listening inward. In those moments when you feel alone, you are given a gift, the gift of clarity. You begin to see yourself in a new light. Unfiltered and raw, you realize that your value isn't tied to how many people acknowledge you or how many friends you have. It is rooted deep within your soul, waiting to be uncovered through quiet reflection. When you learn to sit with yourself, to embrace your own company, you begin to understand that your strength is not derived from external sources, but from an internal wellspring of resilience that can carry you through any storm. This resilience is born out of necessity. Life will test you in ways that leave you feeling battered and broken. It will throw challenges your way that seem insurmountable. And at times, you will feel like giving up. But in those darkest moments, your true strength is revealed. It's in the quiet resilience that refuses to be defeated, that keeps pushing forward even when everything around seems to be falling apart. It's in the silent tears you shed that you are building muscles of perseverance, muscles that will carry you through future storms with grace and dignity. When you start to see yourself as resilient, your perspective shifts. No longer do you see loneliness as a sign of failure, but as a vital chapter in your journey of growth. You begin to understand that sometimes the greatest lessons come when no one is watching, when you are alone with your thoughts, your dreams, and your fears. It's in these moments that you learn to trust yourself, to become your own biggest supporter, and to find joy in your own company. You have to realize that being alone doesn't mean you are empty. It means you are filling your cup, replenishing your spirit, and preparing yourself for what's next. The silence is not deafening, it is healing. It's a space where your soul can speak freely without distraction. When you learn to cherish this solitude, you become a woman who is rooted in her identity, unshaken by the shifting winds of external circumstances. You become a woman who knows her worth without needing anyone else to affirm it. That kind of confidence radiates from within and becomes your armor in a world that constantly tries to define you. Now, I want you to understand that resilience isn't built overnight. It's cultivated through every difficult day, through every moment when you felt like giving up but chose to keep going anyway. It's forged in the fires of disappointment, rejection, and heartbreak, and yet it emerges stronger, wiser, more determined. Resilience is about getting up each time you fall, about finding the courage to face another day, even when your heart feels heavy. It's about knowing deep down that no matter how dark the night, the dawn will come, and with it, new strength. There's a difference between being alone and feeling lonely. One is a state of mind, a choice even, and the other is a temporary condition that can be transformed. When you learn to see your solitude as a gift, you begin to cherish it. You realize that your relationship with yourself is the most important relationship you will ever have. It's the foundation upon which all other relationships are built. You start to understand that the love you seek from others must first be cultivated within, because if you don't love yourself, no other love will fill the void. The journey of embracing solitude is not easy. There will be days when the loneliness feels overwhelming, days when you question whether you're enough. But I want to encourage you, do not run from those feelings. Instead, sit with them, feel them fully, acknowledge them, and let them teach you. Because in that space of honesty, you will find your true strength. When you're alone and vulnerable, you get to decide what kind of woman you want to become. Will you let loneliness define you, or will you use it as a catalyst for growth? Will you allow it to break you, or will you allow it to build you? The choice is yours. In this season, you are learning that your strength is not measured by how many friends you have, but by your ability to stand tall in your own truth. You are discovering that being alone is not a sentence, but a season of preparation. It's where you learn to love yourself fiercely, to cherish your unique journey, and to trust that your value is not determined by anyone else's opinion. This resilience, this self-love, is the foundation that will carry you through the most challenging times and lead you to a place of true empowerment. Remember, the greatest strength you possess is your ability to stand alone and still believe in your worth. Your story is unique, your purpose is divine, and your resilience is unbreakable. Keep walking this path, knowing that every step you take in solitude is a step toward discovering the incredible woman you are destined to become. Fear of loneliness is one of the most paralyzing emotions we can face as women. It creeps in quietly, whispering doubts into our ears, making us question whether we are enough, whether we are worthy, whether we're missing out on some vital piece of life simply because we're walking this path alone. But I want you to understand that this fear is a lie designed to keep you stuck, to keep you doubting your purpose and your strength. The truth is, loneliness is not the enemy, it is a teacher. It's a season that demands your attention, not your avoidance. When you start to confront this fear head on, you realize that it's rooted in a misunderstanding. Society has conditioned us to believe that happiness, fulfillment, and success are only found in the company of others. We've been told that if we're not surrounded by a crowd, we're missing out or somehow incomplete, but that's not reality. The greatest growth often happens in the quiet, in the moments when no one is watching, when you're faced with your own reflection and forced to ask, "Who am I when I am truly alone?" The fear of loneliness often stems from a deep desire for connection, love, and belonging. Those are natural human needs, yet sometimes that desire becomes a trap when it's rooted in the need to be validated by others. External validation is fleeting. It's like chasing shadows that vanish the moment you reach out for them. But the validation that sustains you comes from within, from knowing who you are, from understanding your worth outside of what others think. To overcome this fear, you must shift your perspective. Instead of viewing loneliness as a sign of failure or rejection, see it as a divine pause, a sacred space where you are invited to reconnect with yourself and with your Creator. It's in these moments of solitude that you discover what truly matters. You begin to realize that you don't need the approval of others to validate your existence, because your worth was established long before anyone else recognized it. It was spoken into existence by a higher power who knew you before the foundation of the world, who intricately designed you with purpose and intention. When you embrace this truth, fear begins to lose its grip. You understand that loneliness is not an absence, but a presence that can be turned into a catalyst for transformation. It's a period of purification, of refining your character, of stripping away the layers of superficiality that society often places upon you. This season is where you learn to stand firm in your identity, unshaken by the shifting opinions of others. You begin to find joy in your own company, peace in your own thoughts, and confidence in your own journey. The moment you realize that loneliness is a teacher, you stop fighting it. You stop trying to escape it or fill the void with temporary distractions. Instead, you lean into it. You ask yourself, what is this season trying to teach me? Maybe it's patience, resilience, or the importance of setting boundaries. Maybe it's the realization that your worth isn't tied to popularity or the number of friends you have, but to the love you cultivate within yourself and from the one who created you. In that space, you also begin to understand that the fear of loneliness often masks a deeper, unspoken desire for intimacy, not just with others, but with yourself. This isn't about being alone forever. It's about learning to be whole on your own. It's about knowing that you are enough just as you are, without anyone else's approval. When you accept this, the fear diminishes because you're no longer chasing after something external to fill a void that was never meant to be filled by people. Instead, you discover that the fullness you seek is already within you, waiting to be uncovered like a hidden treasure. The journey to overcoming this fear requires courage. It requires a willingness to sit with your own thoughts, to face your vulnerabilities, and to trust that the season of loneliness is temporary. You have to remind yourself that some of the most powerful women in history endured seasons of solitude. And it was in those moments of quiet reflection that they found their strength, their voice, and their purpose. You are no different. Your season of loneliness is a setup for a comeback, a divine setup for a breakthrough. When you understand that, you stop seeing loneliness as a mark of defeat and start seeing it as a divine appointment. It's where your character is tested and refined. It's where you learn to love yourself fiercely, to see your worth clearly, and to build a life rooted in truth. The fear begins to fade because you realize that you are not walking this path alone. There is a divine presence walking with you, guiding you, strengthening you, and reminding you that you are more than enough. Resilience is born out of this understanding. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back from setbacks. It's about standing firm in your identity despite the circumstances. It's about trusting that even in your solitude, you are being prepared for something greater. You are being shaped into a woman who no longer depends on external circumstances for validation, but is anchored in the unshakable truth of her worth. That resilience becomes your shield against the lies that try to tell you you're inadequate or alone for too long. It's a declaration that, regardless of what you see or feel, you are still standing, still fighting, still believing. This season of overcoming the fear of loneliness is also about reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that you are the author of your story, and no one else holds the pen. You have the power to choose how you respond to this season, whether you allow it to break you or to build you. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to develop inner strength, to deepen your faith, and to discover the unshakable confidence that lives within you. The more you lean into this season, the more you realize that loneliness can be a fertile ground for growth, not despair. It's in the quiet moments, away from the noise, that you find your true voice. It's there that you learn to love yourself fiercely, to accept your imperfections, and to celebrate your uniqueness. You come to see that your value is not determined by how many friends surround you, but by the integrity of your character and the depth of your spirit. As you walk through this season, remember that resilience is a muscle that gets stronger with every challenge. It's built through tears, through heartbreak, through moments of doubt. It's cultivated when you refuse to give up, when you refuse to let fear dictate your future. Resilience is a testimony to your inner strength, a declaration that no matter what season you're in, you are still here, still standing, still believing that better days are coming. Your strength is not measured by the number of people who walk alongside you, but by the unshakable confidence that you are enough, just as you are in this very moment. You are being prepared for a future where your strength, your resilience, and your faith will carry you through every storm. This season of solitude is not a punishment, but a divine setup for a breakthrough. It's where you learn to love yourself fiercely, to trust the process, and to stand tall in your identity. You are not alone, and you never have been. The creator of the universe walks with you, guiding your steps and strengthening your heart. Lean into this season with courage, knowing that your greatest victory is not in the number of friends you have, but in the unwavering love you have for yourself and the divine purpose that is unfolding within you. There's something powerful about understanding that your life, your story, is uniquely yours. It's easy to look around and compare ourselves to others, to get caught up in the stories of what everyone else is doing, to feel like we're falling behind or not measuring up. But let me tell you something profound. Your story is not meant to mirror someone else's. Your journey is a divine tapestry, woven with threads only you can contribute. When you embrace your individuality, you step into a realm of authentic power that cannot be duplicated or stolen. The world often tries to tell us that we need to fit into certain molds, that we should look, act, or think a particular way to be successful or accepted. But the truth is, the greatest success comes from aligning with your true self, from living in integrity with your purpose. When you operate from a place of authenticity, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're walking in your divine design, and no one can imitate that. It's an original masterpiece, and it's waiting for you to step into it fully. To do that, you have to get comfortable with being different. You have to celebrate your quirks, your passions, your dreams, even when they don't seem to match what's popular or what others deem acceptable. Because the moment you embrace your uniqueness, you release the power to influence and inspire others in ways that are authentic to you. You begin to realize that your voice, your perspective, your story, they matter. They are needed in the world, especially in a time when so many are longing for realness, for truth, for someone who dares to be unapologetically herself. Living authentically is a journey that requires courage. It's about shedding the layers of doubt, fear, and conformity that society has placed upon us. It's about learning to stand tall in your truth, even when it's uncomfortable or when it contradicts what others expect. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need another copy. It needs the original you. Your authenticity is a gift to the world, and when you walk in it, you begin to attract the opportunities, relationships, and breakthroughs that are aligned with your purpose. It's also about trusting that your story, with all its imperfections and scars, is what makes you relatable and real. You see, perfection is a myth. It's an illusion that keeps us striving and hiding behind masks. But authenticity is raw, real, and relatable. It's the vulnerability that connects us deeply with others. When you're willing to be transparent about your struggles, your fears, and your triumphs, you create space for others to do the same. That's where true influence begins. When you're authentic enough to share your truth and humble enough to learn from others' truths. This journey into authenticity isn't a destination, it's a lifestyle. It's a daily choice to show up as your true self, to speak your truth, and to live with integrity. It's about aligning your actions with your values and refusing to compromise your soul for temporary acceptance. As you do this, you discover that your confidence doesn't come from external approval, but from within. It's rooted in knowing who you are and whose you are. When your identity is anchored in divine truth, no one can shake your confidence or define your worth. Understanding your purpose is also a vital part of this journey. Purpose isn't just a lofty idea reserved for a few. It's the very reason you wake up each day. It's the reason your experiences, both good and bad, have shaped you into who you are today. Purpose is found in the small acts of kindness, the bold steps of faith, and the quiet moments of reflection. It's in the way you love others, pursue your passions, and stand firm in your convictions. When you live with purpose, your life becomes a beacon of hope and inspiration to those around you. But discovering your purpose requires intentionality. It's about asking the hard questions, listening to that still small voice within, and trusting the process. Sometimes, purpose is revealed in moments of pain or disappointment, because those experiences teach us what truly matters. When you embrace your journey, including the setbacks and failures, you realize that each step is leading you closer to the divine plan for your life. Your purpose is not a destination to reach, but a path to walk daily with faith and confidence. Living out your purpose also means understanding that your influence extends beyond yourself. It's about recognizing that your story can be a catalyst for change in the lives of others. When you walk in authenticity and purpose, you become a light in dark places, a voice for those who have none, a living testimony that resilience, faith, and courage can transform any situation. Your life becomes a powerful message to the world. You are here for a reason, and your journey has meaning. The more you embrace your uniqueness and purpose, the more you inspire others to do the same. You create a ripple effect of authenticity and empowerment. Your story, with all its imperfections, becomes a masterpiece that encourages someone else to walk in their truth. When you live boldly and authentically, you're not just surviving, you're making a difference. You're showing others that it's okay to be vulnerable, to be real, and to pursue their dreams regardless of what society might say. The beauty of this journey is that it's ongoing. Growth, authenticity, and purpose are not static. They evolve as you do. Every season brings new revelations, new opportunities for growth, and new ways to impact the world. When you stay committed to discovering and living out your truth, you become an unstoppable force for good. Your story is still being written, with pages yet to be filled with purpose, passion, and genuine connection. Understanding these truths empowers you to live with intention. It encourages you to show up fully, to love fiercely, and to walk in your divine purpose without apology. It reminds you that your voice matters, your story is needed, and your life has a meaning only you can give it. When you step into this level of authenticity, you're not just creating a life for yourself. You're creating a legacy that will inspire generations to come. Your journey is sacred, your story is powerful, and your purpose is undeniable. Keep walking in that truth with confidence, knowing that every step you take is shaping a future brighter than you ever imagined.